Hello everyone and welcome to my review for Kengan Omega Chapter 108. Before I get into this week's review, I of course have to mention my subscriber goal for 2021, hitting 5,000 by the end of the year. So if you're already a fan of my videos and you're not subscribed, you might as well to help me reach that goal. The other thing is my Patreon, if you want to help support me and the channel directly, or you want to get access to some solo leveling and omniscient reader reviews, you can always become a patron. There's a link to my Patreon down in the description. With that out of the way, let's get on with the review. This week's chapter is a 10 out of 10, unironically. The actual combat of the chapter is fantastic. It's pretty much everything I want out of an excellent Kengan fight. It's basically what we get out of a really good Kengan fight. And the end of this chapter is what I like to call a good kind of subversion. Not the kind that's like disappointing and sort of ruins the expectations that you had. For subversion, it doesn't meet the expectations that you have, but not in a way that sort of feels cheap or ruins everything. So, if you recall from last week's chapter, Okoye has gone into justice mode. Well, super justice mode. He's taken a bite out of Nicholas's shoulder, and pretty much everyone is freaked out by this. It's funny to see Cosmo notice this as well, considering he was the last person to be subjected to the Justice Bite. However, something I really like is that Nicholas doesn't miss a beat with this. He just keeps going, which is pretty awesome, because Okoye is a really intimidating guy. Like, if you ever had to fight someone like Okoye, you would be scared shitless, because Okoye is insane. He's a fucking psychotic murderer. So when most people see that side of Okoye, they're gonna be scared out of their fucking mind. Like what happened with Cosmo. But Nicholas, well, fuck it, we're just gonna keep calling him Nicholas. I don't care. Nicholas is crazy himself, and also he's fought insane murderers before. So this is like nothing new for him. So he's like, whatever, I'm just gonna keep fighting you. And there's a great back and forth this chapter. Every time that one person does a serious blow to the other fighter responds back. So Nicholas gets his head smashed into the ground. He paralyzes Okoye's ankle, so he loses balance and falls too. Then Nicholas gets up, hits Okoye in the throat, so he can't breathe, starts beating on him. Nicholas kind of gets the upper hand for a few minutes, for a page or two, and then Okoye goes in for a headbutt. And not just one headbutt, but he goes in for a flurry of headbutts. Now, if you guys have ever seen a headbutt in real life, like a headbutt in an actual fight, they are terrifying. Like, a headbutt is so fucking violent and sudden that, imagining someone as big as Okoye just over and over again smashing his forehead into Nicholas is kind of like, Jesus Christ. Like, this is vicious. This is the kind of violence that we were expecting from this round. Having seen Okoye do this in the past, but then also having hints to Nicholas also being crazy and wanting to kill people, this was the type of brutality that we were looking for. So Okoye enters his stance of suppression, I think it was called. But Nicholas isn't fazed by this, like, at all. It's great. So they just keep going at it. Now Tarashi's watching this, and he's like, all right, so that's how it is. And I think, there are two possible interpretations of this. One, it's Tarashi has, with the context of the other page, it's like, oh yeah, Nicholas only goes all out when he has to, which is what we had figured. So since he can't kill in Purgatory, he never fights at his full strength, because if he did, he would kill people. Now, even, like, not at full strength, Nicholas is really strong, so I don't know. Like, he was doing pretty well against Okoye. Like, he was doing really well against Okoye. Now, it's even. And when it's even, they're both beating the shit out of each other. So I think Tarashi may have also been talking about another thing that happens at the end of this chapter. At the very least, we're going to see his reaction to it next chapter, because, that's Tarashi's thing. We get this great little sequence here where they both knock each other down. I think, yeah, Okoye basically shoves Nicholas's face, but Nicholas kicks Okoye in the jaw, so they both fall down. And throughout this whole point, Alyssa is trying to tell them to stop, and they just won't listen. There's nothing she can really do to stop them. They're just not listening to the ref. And we get a great, great panel of the two of them here with, like, their foreheads together, grinning like monsters. This is an excellent panel. This is fantastic. This panel sums up what we had been expecting from this fight, with these two crazy murderers going at it. It's fantastic. And everyone's like, oh shit, they're gonna fucking kill each other. Like, it's very obvious from this panel, these two guys are not just going to settle with knocking the other one out. They are going in for the kill now. And if the ref can't stop these two guys from killing each other, then obviously we're gonna need someone stronger than them to step in and stop it. So, finally, Lolong moves. I can't believe it. He's here. He knocks both of them back, and he says, it's over. Any objections? So for starters, yeah, once again, apparently Lolong has the power to teleport. I don't know. The guy is doing instant transmission into the ring. But this is, I had expected, I think I mentioned in last week's review that I had expected Lolong to step in to, like, pull Nicholas off of Okoye and be like, it's over. But in this case, it's very clear that Nicholas and Okoye were going to kill each other. And I'm sure Lolong, being the king of Purgatory, he's the guy for Purgatory. He's like, we're not doing this shit again. Like, no more of this crazy murder bullshit in my goddamn Purgatory fights. Cut this shit out, you two. So he steps in and he stops it and he's like, it's over. You guys are done. I'm not gonna let this go any further. So that's fucking awesome. And I'm wondering if this means that Lolong is going to fight next. Because I've had a feeling that whenever Lolong fights, it's either going to be, oh, yeah, like, Purgatory is a point behind, and it's the first time that's happened in the tournament, so he's like, alright, I'm gonna go turn this ship around. Alternatively, it would be another instance of, like, someone getting killed, and he's like, alright, this isn't how we do Purgatory matches. I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna show you guys how we fucking fight Purgatory. And we kind of got both of them here, a little bit. Where if Nicholas had killed Okoye, that would have been a win for Kengan. But if Okoye killed Nicholas, that would have been another Kengan fighter, or another Kengan fighter killing another Purgatory fighter. It would be the third time someone gets killed in this tournament. So Lolong is like, get the fuck out of here. We're not doing this shit anymore. So now he's up. And I guess the fight's over. I'm wondering what's going to happen. Is it a draw? I guess. There's not a point system in these fights, so you can't really have a draw. Or, well, there's no point system, so you can't settle a draw with points. So, I don't know. Whoever wins at rock, paper, scissors wins. We'll pull a straw out of a hat. I don't know how this is going to be decided. Maybe it'll be a no contest and they'll have to do, like, an extra fight or something? I don't know. Some people think that's how we'll make Koga. That's how we'll bring Koga back. I don't know, because Koga's still kind of shit tier. So I have a feeling they would probably bring someone else in to settle it. And we would see what happens with that. But I do think it's more likely than not that now that Lolong has stepped up into the ring, he's moved, he's struck two people, Lolong's going to fight in the next round. I think so. It seems like this round is over. It was good. I liked it a lot. Unfortunately, the king had to cock block us just as it was getting amazing, but what can you do, I guess. But yeah, I think Lolong's fighting next. I feel like the person most likely to fight Lolong is Wakatsuki, because Wakatsuki is the only person other than Oma that's probably strong enough to fight Lolong, and I can see Lolong winning. Lolong probably wins mid to high difficulty against Wakatsuki, because even Oma's looking at him and he's like, this guy is unbelievably strong. This is the most hyped up any fucking character has been in the whole series. there's not a great track record for characters that get really hyped up. So, it seems like the moment of truth is going to be upon us. Can Lelong live up to the hype? I hope. So I guess we're going to have to see what happens in next week's chapter. I'm thinking we'll probably get to meet the fighters for the next round, maybe. So yeah, with that, that's all I have to say for this week's review. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Kengan Omega chapter reviews every week. If you enjoy other series such as Record of Ragnarok, Jujutsu Kaisen, Black Clover, and Kaiju number 8, I do videos in those series as well, so if you're interested in those, you should definitely check out my channel. If you enjoy discussing Kengan Omega with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce in this channel, I highly suggest check out my Discord server. I have a link to that down in the description. Since it's the end of the video, it's time to give a shout out to a few of my patrons: Archbear, CJ2K, Fuse, Neo, and Solo Warrior. Thank you all very much for supporting me on Patreon. I greatly appreciate it. And if you too want to get a shout out at the end of videos, or you want to get access to some solo leveling and omniscient reader videos, you can always become a patron as well. There's a link to my Patreon down in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around. Take care.